The Justice Department now on the hot seat. Let's take a live look at the House Oversight Committee hearing room on Capitol Hill. That's where a hearing is about to get underway any moment now, where the #2 official at the Justice Department will finally face questions about the growing IRS scandal and, of course, the investigation into what happened to all of Lois Lerner's emails. Good morning, everyone. I'm Eric Shawn, in for Bill Hammer here on America's Newsroom.
And I'm Patty Ann Brown, in for Martha McCallum. Deputy Attorney General James Cole is set to defend the Justice Department probe and says it has now expanded to include Lerner's lost emails. But Republicans say it's all a sham. Mike Emanuel right now is live on Capitol Hill. So, hi, Mike. What are some of the key points of this investigation that lawmakers are looking for answers to?
Well, Patty Ann, Jim Jordan, the congressman from Ohio who will oversee the subcommittee hearing, says he wants to know about John Koskinen, the IRS commissioner. And Koskinen knew back in April that there was an issue with Lois Lerner's missing emails, but didn't tell Congress and the American people until 2 months later, a Friday afternoon in mid-June. So you expect that Jordan will ask the Deputy Attorney General, when did Koskinen alert the Justice Department that Lois Lerner had an email problem? The other issue that Jordan says he wants to get into is, of course, the United States Congress sent a contempt resolution to the Justice Department for Lois Lerner since she's refused to answer lawmakers' questions. And Ronald Machen, the United States Attorney for D.C., has yet to convene a grand jury. And so Jordan's going to say, shouldn't the United States Attorney convene a grand jury to get to the bottom of this? Obviously, Jordan and many other lawmakers here on Capitol Hill are hoping that a federal judge will compel Lerner to testify about the targeting of conservative groups. Patty Ann?
Yeah, so Mike, what do we expect specifically from the Deputy Attorney General at today's hearing?
Well, James Cole, we expect, will come up here and to try to reassure lawmakers and obviously the United States public that the Justice Department investigation into the IRS targeting of conservative groups, into Lois Lerner and her missing emails, is serious. We've heard from Congressman Jordan that he is relieved to know that somebody at the Justice Department thinks the disappearance of Lois Lerner's emails is fishy, and so you expect that they will delve into that. And we expect that Cole will tell lawmakers that while he can't get into all the details of what the Justice Department has been investigating at this point, that when it is complete, that they will reveal to Congress the findings and the conclusions drawn, again, trying to reassure the Congress, which thinks that the Justice Department investigation is not serious, that it is indeed a serious probe. Patty Ann?
Mike Emanuel, live on Capitol Hill. Thanks.
Sure.
And keep it right here. We're going to have continuing coverage of this developing story. We will monitor those hearings, and when news breaks, we will bring it to you live.
Well, Patty, meanwhile, the Oversight Committee is now weighing its next steps. That after the White House ignored a congressional subpoena for a top political aide to the president to testify. Last night, Darrell Issa, the committee chairman, calling that refusal to appear disturbing. He spoke to Megyn Kelly.
Ultimately, the American people need to know, and they need to have confidence that their tax dollars are not being used, as the IRS did, to go after political, if you will, enemies of the president, the Tea Party and group. We need to know that they're not using the power of the presidency and the money of the taxpayers to campaign for people in this upcoming election. The president asserted through his counsel the most absurd claim, which was that there was as inherent immunity from coming to Congress by this political appointee, and he didn't show up.
Now, Michael Warren is a staff writer for the Weekly Standard and joins us now. So, Michael, do you think the American people, based on the White House behavior so far, do you think they do have confidence that the administration is acting above board?
Have confidence in this administration? Probably not. I mean, if you look at the poll numbers, they certainly think that with all these scandals, you were talking about the IRS scandal earlier, NSA, everything, really, there's a lack of confidence. And I think that this particular issue with the former Labor Secretary, Hilda Solis, just adds to that. I also wonder, though, if Congressman Issa is sort of suffering from diminishing marginal returns on all of these subpoenas and investigations. Fairly or not, I think he's being painted as somewhat of a partisan attack dog that only sort of wants to get the administration. And so I'm a little skeptical that this subpoena, or this fight with the White House over this subpoena, is going to give much help to his cause, unless it just keeps to the news like we're talking about it now.
Yeah, but look, you've got, at the same time, you've got all these, a tremendous number of missing emails, 2 years worth. when they're allegedly targeting conservative groups, including the Tea Party and other groups. You've got those missing emails. Lerner takes the fifth. And now the White House political director refuses to testify. So what do you think the Department of Justice could shed light on today, if anything, at all, when they appear at this hearing?
I don't know. I mean, I think that Congressman Jim Jordan, he said that he's got confidence in this particular deputy AG, that at least somebody thinks this is fishy. But look, I think that you really do have to tread lightly when you're a member of Congress, particularly you're in the majority party, but in the smaller House, in the House of Representatives. You really, I think, have to be targeted. You have to be focused in these hearings and make sure that you've got your eye on the ball, that it doesn't look like, or you can't be accused of being a political partisan on this. I think that they've done a good job. I'm a little more skeptical of Darrell Iss's subpoena on this Hilda Solis issue, but the IRS, the missing Lois Lerner emails, I think that most Americans who are paying attention to this are thinking they do agree there's something fishy, and they I think they should be learning something more from this hearing coming up.
Yeah, we're looking at Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan there, who has now gavelled this hearing into session. Why would you question the Hilda Solis subpoena and that information? Let's take a look at the phone call that she made, and the accusation is she broke federal law by making this phone call by fundraising from her federal office. Here's the call.
This is Hilda Solis calling, just calling you off the record here. Wanted to ask you if you could help us get folks organized to come to a fundraiser that we're doing for Organizing for America's for Obama campaign on Friday at La Fonda at 6 p.m. There's a lot of folks that we know that are coming, but wanted to ask you if you might help contribute or get other folks to help out.
So your boss is in your federal office. Your boss calls you up. Your boss says, we need your help. You're going to say no?
Exactly. I mean, the audio really speaks for itself. It's pretty remarkable. And look, the Department of Justice is investigating this. Look, I don't mean to sort of diminish Congressman Issa's efforts to get to the bottom of this. I just wonder what the returns on this will be if he's in this fight with the White House. But again, I can also see that, look, Josh Earnest is having to answer questions about this. It's keeping it in the news. But in many ways, Hilda Solis may end up burying herself with that audio. It's really remarkable. It kind of reveals, I think, a culture in the administration which says that use all the tools and power available to you in the federal government to reach political ends. I just, when I heard that audio for the first time this morning, I couldn't believe it.
Couldn't believe it. All right, well, a lot of times the congressmen, senators trudge up to the DNC, the RNC, to make phone calls from there. That is what they're supposed to do, not apparently this. Mike Warren, thanks so much, as always.
Thanks, Eric.